What's up guys, CJ Ravens here, and today we're going to be doing something that I've always wanted to do for a very long time, and that is ranking every single zombies map from worst to best. Treyarch only. I've been wanting to do this video for a very long time, and recently I've played every single zombies map. Mostly Black Ops 4 is what I was missing, but I played every single zombies map, and I wanted to finally rank every single map from worst to best. So how are we going to be doing this? How are we going to be ranking this? First things first, obviously number one, these are just my opinions. Everything in this video is all opinion based. Obviously it's my opinions. You might not agree with me, and that's completely fine. That's why it's called an opinion. My number one may not be your number one. My least favorite map may not be your favorite map, and that's completely fine. That's why it's called an opinion, and that's why I also want you in the comment section to leave your top 5 favorite maps in the comment section. Or actually, fuck it, just leave your full entire list. I want to see your worst map all the way to your best map. Leave it in order. And my list is completely different from a lot of zombies YouTubers. You're gonna see people with the same exact lists, every single top 5. Mine's different, just so we're clear with that. Number two is we're not going to be talking about Easter eggs or storyline, especially when you get to Black Ops 4 with the Chaos storyline. I feel like it's not fair to talk about the storyline. I have only completed 4 Easter eggs out of all of the maps, and I really don't follow too much into the story. We're only going to be talking about mostly the map itself and the gameplay wise. Yes, I might bring up storyline in some occasions, but mostly we're just not going to be talking about it. And the third and the final thing is obviously, like I said earlier, Treyarch only, no Infinity Ward, no Sledgehammer games, and also no Zombies Chronicles and Black Ops 1 remakes. I do want to make a video in about a year after Cold War comes out and talk about every single map from Treyarch to Infinity Ward to Sledgehammer games to everything, even Zombies Chronicles and the Black Ops 1 remakes to everything. I want to make a big ass video ranking every single zombies map ever, but in this one we're going to be talking about Treyarch only, no remakes, no Zombie Chronicles. Starting off at number 32, the worst map of all time, and that is Bus Depot. What can I say about this? It's the bare bones survival maps, no perks, no pack-a-punch. All you have to work with is a mystery box, and that's it. Bus Depot, in my opinion, was the worst section in Transit. Getting high rounds on this map is very hard. You either need the ray gun Mark II or just the original ray gun, and even after that the ray gun poops out about round 30, and the ray gun Mark II starts getting bad around round 50, if you can even make it to round 50. Again, there's no perks, so it's the original system. You get hit twice, game over. Also, the lava's still there, so if zombies go into the lava, they catch on fire, you kill them, they explode, which, by the way, if they explode too close to you, it hurts you, and you could possibly go down. There's a risk for that. Again, there's lava all over this map, so you step in it, you're gonna obviously take damage, and if you stay in it for too long and get hit once, game over. Bus Depot, in my opinion, was the worst section out of all of them. If we're not counting the power station, Bus Depot was the worst section out of all of them, and I really wish they would have done this on Diner instead, but they didn't. They wanted to do a poor man's version of Nocturne and Toten, and that's completely fine, but the execution, the way they did it, was just really bad, and Bus Depot comes in at number 32. Number 31, what else would it be? What else would it be? Come on, it's Transit. Everything about this map was just really bad, and the worst part is if they would have waited one more year, just one more year, this map could have easily have been very good, and they did not do that. The reason Transit was really bad is because it could not be ran on the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3, but if they would have waited a year later when the next generation consoles came out, Xbox One and PlayStation 4, they easily could have dumbed down a lot of the stuff that they did to slow us down. First of all, the game couldn't render, the textures weren't loading in, they needed to add in all of this stuff to slow you down. The fog was added in so heavily so you couldn't see more than 2 feet in front of you. The textures wouldn't load in, so they needed to heavily add fog in. That's very bad. If I can't see 2 feet in front of me, I don't want to play your map. The lava was also there to slow you down. You would step in it, you couldn't really run, you'd have to jump out of it. Again, it was another way so you couldn't see the rendering and the textures not loading in. The denizens, another thing they added in to slow you down. They would jump on you and you could not run. They would spawn constantly. You killed one, another one would spawn immediately. Sometimes 2, 3 of them spawn at a time. And all the 3 of these things, the fog, the lava, the denizens, add absolutely nothing to Transit. They're just added in because, hey, fuck it, let's just add it in, right? If they would have condensed Transit down a lot more, this could have been a very good map. I mean, Transit, like 50% of the map is useless. Most of it's not even used, so why did they make it the size it is? Most of the sections are very pointless. Like I said, Bus Depot, not a great place to camp. You go there once, and usually I don't go back unless I absolutely have to. Farm, another place that I barely go to. Again, the only place that I really train is Diner and town, and that's honestly it. There's even a section where Nocturne and Toten is in there, and I barely have gone there. The jet gun is supposed to be one of the greatest wonder weapons of all time on paper, but then when they actually created it, it's one of the worst instead. You have to build the damn thing, which isn't bad because again, you have to build the Sliquifier, and the Sliquifier, one of the greatest wonder weapons of all time. So you gotta build it, but the problem is Transit's such a very big map, and all of these parts are scattered all around it. By the way, you can only pick up one part at a time, so if you pick up a part on this side, you have to go all the way to town to build it, and then go all the way across the map just to pick up another part. And by the way, you gotta deal with the fog, the lava, the denizens. Your only transportation around the map is the bus, and the bus leaves you like 50% of the time. You barely have time to do anything at a section. You leave Bus Depot, you go to Diner, and then by the time you hit the mystery box or try to build the shield or whatever, open up the diner, the bus is already leaving, so you have to either rush to get back on the bus or wait for it to make a lap all the way around just so you can get back on. They had a great idea, and I honestly think that Transit should have been very good, but they just didn't do it right. And if it would have been done right, if they would have condensed it, if they would have taken away a lot of the features, Transit could have easily have been one of the best maps of all time, but unfortunately, it was a very shitty map. I really hope they remake it in Cold War though. If they remake it in Cold War, ooh man, the next generation consoles, that means 2 consoles have passed. There should be no fucking fog, no lava, no denizens at all. I should be able to see like 1,000 feet in front of me. Number 30 is Farm, another bare bones survival map, but this time you have perks, and the perks do help a lot, but about round 25 is when they don't really help too much because your guns start to get weaker and the zombies start to get stronger. It's another case of Ray Gun Mark II or die, and that's pretty much about it. Yes, double tap does help, but again, bullets start to get weaker, zombies start to get stronger. Yes, Juggernaut does help, but again, if you're just training over and over again, how fun is that? Quick Revive again helps you, but I go down once on Farm, I'm not buying my perks again. That's just when I just do the survival bare bones, run around to see how long I could survive without perks. I usually get to around 15, 20 on Farm, and then I'm done. I don't want to play anymore. Again, not a bad map. If they were going to do this idea, I wish they would have done it on Diner instead, but they didn't do it on Diner, and Farm is it's just there. I don't know what else to say. It's a survival map. If you want to survive, it's great, but like I said, Ray Gun Mark II or die. That's pretty much it. Number 29, Shino Numa. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, when I say this is the most boring map of all time. I get to round 5 and I already don't want to play anymore. And that's not something that you want when you make a map. And you'd think that this map would be really good. You got the Wonder Waff, you have the original 4 characters that we know and love today. The map itself is not really designed that bad, but just the map, the look, everything about it is just boring. I get the Wonder Waff and I already don't want to play. Again, I'm ranking this off of the World at War version, so again, 24 zombies and that's the round, that's it. High rounds are very, very easy to come by. I mean, you could easily get to round 100 no problems. I've seen so many people do it. If you've ever wanted to make it to round 100, this is that map. But other than that, this map adds absolutely nothing. There's water or mud that just slows you down. You go into it, the zombies run faster than you, and that makes up about 40% of the map. A lot of stuff in here is pointless too. There's this like train thing or gondola thing where you could take it and it takes you literally like 15 feet. That's it. And it's like 1,500 points to take you like 15 feet. It's pointless. Not to mention the random perk spawns. I hate that. I just want Jug first. That's all I want. But every single time I open up a door, it's like, oh, here's Quick Revive. Oh, here's Speed Cola. Oh, you want a Jug? No. Take double tap instead. It's just random perks and I don't like it. Shino Numa is the most boring map of all time and it comes in at number 29. Number 28 is Blood of the Dead. I rank this so low because I absolutely love Mob of the Dead. Mob of the Dead is one of my favorite maps of all time. Spoiler alert. Mob of the Dead was one of the greatest maps of all time. Then they decided to remake Blood of the Dead, but everything that made Mob of the Dead great, they just either decided to fuck it up or they just didn't add it in general. One thing that was very unique about Mob of the Dead was the Afterlife mode. That's how you would open doors, that's how you would turn on power, that's how you turned on perks, that's how you did pretty much a lot of stuff in Mob of the Dead. But this time they decided, hey, let's get rid of that and let's make everybody open up stuff through the shield. Why did they think that was a good idea? To make you build a shield and then the map revolves around the shield. That is literally so stupid. And to make the shield work, you have to kill zombies. About round 10 is when killing zombies with the shield becomes ineffective because you have literal hordes following you. How are you gonna kill a zombie with the shield? And it takes about 5 seconds or so to kill one zombie. Not to mention you have to get multiple souls just to power up the shield. The shield is how you open up some doors. The shield is how you open up Pack-a-Punch. I know this is a problem with Black Ops 4 in general, but Pack-a-Punch is not in one position. It moves multiple times per game. Every other round, it's completely gone. First time it spawns up on the roof, and the next time it's gone. It's somewhere else. They added in new layers. They added in the Warden's house, which is, again, very useless. They added in Richtofen's lair. Useless. They added in the catwalk, which is, again, useless. And it was the worst design thing of all time because when you open up the catwalk, hordes of zombies, literally like 10 zombies, just start running at you from both directions, in front of you and behind you. The problem is it's the very beginning of the round. You probably don't have great guns. About half the times you open up the catwalk, you will go down, and that's very bad. That makes no sense. Why would you set someone up for failure immediately? That's exactly what Blood of the Dead does. They took away my favorite place to train of all time, and that was the Golden Gate Bridge. To get to Pack-a-Punch was so rewarding. I know getting to Golden Gate Bridge on Mob of the Dead was very tedious. It sucked, I'll admit that, but after a while you felt fulfilled. I mean, you build the plane, you go, you take that trip. It was awesome. And then Blood of the Dead, you kill 3 zombies with a shield and bam, Pack-a-Punch is there. How is that good? Not to mention, I felt like what made Mob of the Dead were the characters itself. These great, amazing characters, and then now, yes, you have the original 4 characters that we know and love today, but I feel like on Mob of the Dead, on Alcatraz, I want to play as those original characters. I want to play as Sal, I want to play as Billy, I don't want to play as Takio, I don't want to play as Nikolai. Blood of the Dead is not that great of a map. It should have been way better, but again, I think it gets held back by the fact that Mob of the Dead was so great, and a lot of the features that they had in Mob of the Dead weren't even added into Blood of the Dead. Not to mention the Black Ops 4 engine is very bad, so that also moves it back a lot. Blood of the Dead is the worst Black Ops 4 map of all time. It's not even close. Coming in at number 27 is VERRUCKT. I don't have many memories playing this game. The reason this comes so low is because this is probably my least played map of all time. Hell, even some Black Ops 4 maps I've played more than VERRUCKT in the last 12 years. I don't mind challenging maps. I know a lot of people hate challenging maps. If a map is too hard, well, they just don't like it. I don't know why, but the zombies community doesn't. And I don't mind it, but I think the problem is that this map is just, in my opinion, not necessarily designed well. Yes, it is hard, but the design of it is just very bad. Not to mention that there's no wonder weapon. I understand this is the second map ever created, but there's no wonder weapon. Yes, they added in perks, but the map was pretty hard, so the perks didn't absolutely help you too much. The only time I ever had fun playing VERRUCKT was when I had multiple people on. If it's a solo, I never play this map solo. In fact, I can only think of a couple of times that I loaded this game up solo. The only memories I have of VERRUCKT is playing 4 players with my friends on the Black Ops 1 version, and we made it to round 25. That was pretty dope, but other than that, that's it. I have no other memories of VERRUCKT. The closest memory I have of VERRUCKT is getting to like round 8 max, and that's about it. Number 26 is Voyage of Despair, the most confusing map of all time. The layout of this map is just very, very bad. Who the hell created this map? Did a small child create it? Did somebody just decide to fucking put paint in their mouth and spit it on a canvas? Is that how this map was created? Most of this map is unplayable, by the way. The only places to run is either spawn or the poop deck, and that's absolutely it, at least for me. A lot of places like the cargo hold and the engine room are underwater. Yes, you can get rid of the water, but how the fuck do you do that? I don't know how to do that. Now I gotta look up some YouTube guide to figure this shit out. And I think that's a big problem with Voyage of Despair, is that it's very confusing. You gotta look up a lot of stuff. There's the Kraken. I don't know how to get it. Can you get it in the box? I've hit that shit 100 times and never gotten it once. I've never gotten the wonder weapon on your map. Again, that's very bad. Opening up Pack-a-Punch is this most tedious shit of all time. You have 4 different locations and you have to open up pretty much the whole entire map just to get Pack-a-Punch unlocked. By the way, Pack-a-Punch is movable too. This is a Black Ops 4 problem with the first 2 maps, but it moves. It stays on the poop deck for like two rounds, and then it goes to the engine room, and then it goes to the cargo hold, and then it goes to wherever the hell else, the staircase. It's just not a good map. Not to mention, I know this is a Black Ops 4 problem as a whole, but every single round there's like 18 different mini bosses that spawn. I mean, how many times can I just play? I just want to play zombies. I'm not playing this random shit. I don't want mini bosses to spawn. Why is this electric zombie spawning? Why is this big ass dude spawning? Why is this crab thing spawning? Why are half of this stuff spawning? I'm playing zombies. I wish they would have gotten rid of all the mini bosses, or if they didn't get rid of all of them, it would have made it a lot better had they just added in every other round. Like, oh, The last round was a throwaway round. This round, we're gonna throw a couple of mini bosses at you. They never did that though. They decided to throw everything at you all at once. Not to mention the characters on Voyage of Despair. God, they're god awful. None of them, and when I say none of them, I mean none of them are good at all. They're all bad. No matter who I pick, I just don't want to play with them at all. And the storyline, the Chaos storyline's garbage. I know I said I wouldn't talk about the Chaos storyline, but I have to say it. It's very bad, and I really hope, and I'm gonna assume they did drop the Chaos storyline, but it's very bad. Number 25 is Alpha Omega. Whenever I heard that they were gonna be remaking Nuketown, I was not happy at all because I did not know that they were going to be remaking Nuketown until this shit released. I don't understand why. Black Ops 4 was the weirdest game of all time. They barely at all marketed anything other than Blackout, I feel like. Alpha Omega is a remake of Nuketown, and I think honestly it is a bad remake, to be honest. Yes, you can go to the bunker. The bunker wasn't accessible in Nuketown in the first one. Yes, you can also visit the outskirts of the map. It wasn't accessible in the first Nuketown. But that's about it. Other than that, this map, I feel like I've played 100 times before. If you've played literally any map before in Call of Duty, you've played this map. There's nothing new to this game at all. Alpha Omega is just a very boring map. It's very average. It's just a map, and I think that's the worst thing. The only original thing that they've done was the Ray Gun Mark II variants, and even then, it wasn't original because they made a ray gun. It's literally just a Ray Gun Mark II. We've seen it 100 million times before. The worst part about this is to turn on power, to keep power turned on, you have to ventilate every single house, and by the way, every other round, the houses get unventilated, so you have to re-ventilate every single house again. By the way, when you ventilate the houses, more zombies spawn. It takes about a good 10 seconds to ventilate a house, and they keep spawning, and then you just can't ventilate a house. It's so stupid. The ideas that they had were just very bad. I mean, I don't mind the occasional Nova crawler, but god damn, just can they not spawn every fucking 3 seconds? I just want to kill zombies again. That's a Black Ops 4 problem as a whole. Number 24 is 5. If they would have went with the original idea, this map would have been the launch map of Black Ops 1. KINO to TOTEN was supposed to be another DLC map for World at War, but they decided not to do it at World at War, and they decided to put KINO to TOTEN in Black Ops 1. Imagine if 5 was the original map, the main map that everybody played as soon as they started up Call of Duty Black Ops 1. I guarantee you zombies wouldn't have gotten as big as it did. KINO to TOTEN was one of the reasons that zombies got big, and 5 was just a secondary map. It just was an overlooked map. Most people didn't play it, which is weird because I think 5, in my opinion, it's a good map. Yes, it is ranked very low on this, but again, if I'm ranking this, Black Ops 1 would have been perfect without 5. If 5 wasn't in there, Black Ops 1 maps would have been perfect. There's a lot of problems I have with 5. For instance, the Winter's Howl, one of the worst wonder weapons of all time. It literally stops working at like around 30. Pack-a-punched, by the way. It's very bad. The teleporters, very bad. If you're at the 3rd floor and you want to go to the 2nd floor, if you go through a teleporter, there's a chance you'll go back to the 3rd floor or you'll go to the 1st floor. Yes, there is a small chance you'll make it to the 2nd floor, but that's after going through every single teleporter 14 times just to make it to the 2nd round. The elevators are your biggest thing to get from floor to floor. The problem is that it takes a while for the elevators to work, and once you do get into an elevator, the zombies spawn right in front of you, so you have to get through a whole bunch of zombies just to survive. The one unique thing that 5 added in was the Pentagon Thief, and I thought that was an amazing addition to zombies. It was the neighborhood predator that constantly came every 5 rounds and it would try to kill you. He would chase you, and if he caught up to you, he would take your gun. If he didn't catch up to you and you killed him before, he would reward you with the bonfire cell. A bonfire cell means you could pack a punch your gun for $1,000. I love the characters that were added into 5, but other than the characters, other than the Pentagon Thief, 5 was just a pretty forgettable map. Number 23 is Nuketown, the most hyped I'd ever been for a zombies map, and it completely failed me. First of all, Nuketown is a very small map as it is, but Treyarch decided, hey, let's condense the map down by like 40%. Let's add in barriers and debris everywhere so that the player cannot work with most of the map that it's giving. There are rocks literally everywhere. Both of the sides of the maps, there are rocks that are there. You cannot get through the rocks. And like I said, Nuketown is a very small map, meaning that there's not that many places to train. Other than the backyard of the greenhouse, that's about it. People do kind of train in the spawn, but it's pretty risky to train in the spawn. And it's, in my opinion, almost impossible to train in the backyard in the yellow house. So the only place to train is the backyard of the greenhouse. You go inside the houses, it's very small and very close quarters. Zombies can easily trap you if you go inside, especially on the higher rounds. And all you really have to work with is the ray gun Mark II. I think that's a very big problem with Black Ops 2 in general, is that the wonder weapons aren't the greatest. Also, there's random perk spawns. Quick Revive is the very first perk you get, but after that, it's completely random. You could get Double Tap next, you could get Pack-a-Punch next, you could get Juggernog last. By the way, the last perk spawns, I think, on round 20, so you can go a full entire game until round 20 before you could even get Juggernog. You could Pack-a-Punch a gun before you get Juggernog. The key factor of surviving is getting Juggernog, and they decided, hey, let's not let players get Juggernog until about round 20, cause fuck it, why not? I wish Nuketown would have been a lot better. It should have just been a very basic, nice map. They should never have added in all of these barriers, all of this debris, all of this stuff to the map. It should have just been a nice basic map, but instead they completely ruined it. If they're gonna remake Nuketown again, which I don't think they are, just release it like you would a normal multiplayer map. People aren't gonna care. No one cares about high round strats, no one cares about it. It's just a nice little map for people to play, and I think that was what Nuketown should have been, but they didn't let it. There was no storyline to Nuketown. It made absolutely no sense for it to be there. Nuketown comes in at number 23. Number 22 is Nocturne Tone. Not really much to say about this. I don't hate this as much as a lot of people do, and I think it was a pretty good map for what it was worth. No perks, no Pack-a-Punch, very first map ever created. This was literally just a fun little game mode for whenever you beat the campaign. This was like your, hey, you beat the campaign, here you go, have a little fun Nazi zombies experience. And that was it. There's a lot of problems with it. Yes, it is a very slow game. For round 1 can take up to like 4 minutes to complete. The zombies take their sweet ass time to get to you, but once it starts going, it starts going. No perks, like I said, so 2 hits, game over. I like that aspect. And yes, it was a very small map, but I felt like it was pretty good for what it was worth. It's, for the first map, I think it was good. Number 21, Dead of the Night. I don't know what it is, I just don't like this map at all. It's just not a fun map. First of all, it's very confusing. I don't know what I'm collecting most of the time. There's like 80 collectibles in this map, and I don't know what any of it's for. I assume it's for the Easter egg. To get to Pack-a-Punch is crazy. You gotta do all of this stuff. You have to do legit detective work to get to Pack-a-Punch. You have to open up these vases that have these little orbs or little crystals. You have to collect zombie souls and look into the crystals, and then it'll show you like a picture of a girl or a picture of a doll. So you gotta go all around the map to find this picture of a girl or this picture of a doll just for you to get one fork to open up Pack-a-Punch. Yeah, let alone there's 3 of them. Then in Dead of the Night they decided, hey, zombies aren't enough. Let's add in werewolves and fucking vampires because, you know, let's just do it. Why not? Zombies weren't enough. And it adds absolutely nothing to Dead of the Night. I mean, yes, it does for storyline purposes, but other than that, I don't care about storyline purposes. The Chaos storyline sucked to begin with, so why do I give a fuck about werewolves and vampires? You gotta get silver bullets to kill the werewolves pretty fast, but again, another YouTube guide that I gotta look up for zombies. Wow, this is fucking awesome. And the map itself isn't really that great either. There's not really many places to run in this map. I usually run in that spawn area or that little area where the staircase leads to, and that's about it. I usually never go to the woods. I don't go on the opposite sides of the maps. I just stay in one little area after I'm done. Once I get all my perks, once I get my weapons Pack-a-Punched, I don't leave that area at all. Number 20, Zetsubo no Shima. Would you believe me if I said that this was my most played Black Ops 3 map? I mean, it's not, because Shadows of Evil and The Giant are my most played Black Ops 3 maps, but other than that, for DLC wise, would you believe me? Yes, this is my most played Black Ops 3 maps for DLC, and that's fucking insane to me. First of all, the setup to this map is insane. It takes you about 45 minutes, at least for me, it takes me about 45 minutes to set up, and I feel like that's way too long for a map, especially for a setup. Yes, you get the KT4, and I think the KT4 is a very good wonder weapon, but to get it, it's just too much, too tedious. You get the Skull of Nansapwe, again, a very good special weapon, but again, just too tedious to get. Do you really want to get it? You kind of have to, but do you really want to get it? A lot of stuff makes no sense. The spider rounds literally are hellhound rounds, but I feel like the spiders just don't add anything into it. Then you got the threshers, and it's like, why the fuck did they decide to add the threshers into zombies? It literally adds nothing. They sometimes spawn in front of you. They sometimes can fuck you. The health is way too high. They run after you. The threshers were the worst thing ever added into zombies. The power, to turn power on, it was the most confusing thing. Watering plants with 115 water, it made no sense. Just let me flip a goddamn switch and that's it. Powers turned on. Yes, there were cool things about Zetsubou no Shima. That spider boss, man, that was the coolest thing I've ever done in any zombies game. I loved that spider boss, but other than that, that's about it. Zetsubou no Shima adds nothing to Black Ops 3. It adds nothing to zombies. It's the worst map in Black Ops 3 zombies by far. Coming in at number 19, I guess is another bad Black Ops 3 map, is Revelations. Not really that bad. I think this map is actually pretty average. Yes, nostalgia is one hell of a drug, and I think that's exactly what this map was based off of, was nostalgia, because everything about this map except the spawn and the area Pack-a-Punch is in is all remakes of maps. You got Mob of the Dead, you got VERRUCKT, you have KINO der Toten, you have Der Eisendrache, which by the way, Der Eisendrache was in Black Ops 3, so why did they add Der Eisendrache? You have Shangri-La, you have all of these maps that were added into Revelations for pretty much no reason. It's just a nostalgia map. Not that it's bad, but I just don't think it adds anything. And it's a very easy map to begin with. You have the Thunder Gun, you have the Apothecant Servant, you have Monkey Bombs, Little Arnie's, you have pretty much everything at your disposal, especially too with double Pack-a-Punch. This map is very, very easy. And I don't think that takes away from anything, but I just think that two very overpowered wonder weapons can kind of ruin a map. I mean, especially since you get them so frequently, especially if you have Galbo Guns too, you could easily get them super fast. Coming in at number 17 is Ancient Evil. A lot of people absolutely love this map, and I think this is probably a lot of people's favorite Black Ops 4 map, but I think it's average. First of all, I think the Chaos storyline holds this map back a lot. Not to mention, I feel like this map is also pretty confusing. Opening up Pack-a-Punch is a real bitch on this map. You gotta find a certain item just for the Pegasus to drop, and then when the Pegasus drops, then the Pegasus takes you to this other place on this map where the Pack-a-Punch is. But then you gotta like free these two eagles or these two owls or whatever they are. Ancient Evil added in this little challenge podium that you could buy a certain challenge, and the better you do in the challenge, you get a better reward. I think that was actually very good. And the shield itself too, another great idea. The shield was probably one of the most unique shields ever. But again, the Chaos storyline, I feel like the map itself just held it back. It's not that great of a map. Number 16, Tag der Toten. Another average map. I don't think it's that bad of a map, but I also don't think it's a great map. It's a good map. It's a Call of the Dead remake. Call of the Dead was pretty hard, and Tag der Toten is very chill. It's very easy. And I think that's something that I like about Tag der Toten. If I want to have a good time, listen to some music, get to high rounds, Tag der Toten is the map that I play. There's challenge podiums. You go up to these things, you can click on them, and it'll give you a challenge. It's pretty easy. The map is pretty much the same as Call of the Dead, but they added in a little bit more. The spawn place is a little bit different. There's a lot of different stuff added in. There's traps now. In Call of the Dead there wasn't traps, but in Tag der Toten there are now traps. There's no more George Romero, so he's not constantly chasing you every 3 seconds trying to rape you. They brought back regular Pack-a-Punch, so now you can Pack-a-Punch a gun once. You no longer have to Pack-a-Punch a gun 5 times. You can Pack-a-Punch it once, and that's it. It goes straight to how good it should be. Another problem I have are the wonder weapons in this game. The Tundra Gun, not that great. The Wonder Waff is not that great. The Tundra Gun actually hurts you when you shoot it, so you have to run PhD for it not to hurt you. And high round strats are very easy. If you go to the top of the boat, you could easily get to round 100 in less than 2 hours. And I don't think that holds it back, but I'm just saying it's a very easy map. Coming in at number 16 is Die Rise. Everybody hates this map. Oh, the zombies community absolutely hates this map. Johnny J, I'm with you. I think this map is also average. I don't think this map is that bad. It's a vertical map. It's no longer horizontal. It's no longer side to side. It's vertical, so it's up and down. But the problem is getting from one place to another is very hard. You have to rely on elevators. Problem is the elevators, they take their sweet ass time to get to you, and that's what really ruins Die Rise is the elevators. It's a lot of waiting, especially when you're on high rounds. Waiting for an elevator is literally life or death situation. You have to get very lucky, especially if you go to certain areas. If you get trapped and an elevator's not there, that's it. Game over. It sucks. It absolutely does. The Slickifier is one of the greatest wonder weapons of all time. You can acquire it on round 1. Round 1, you can get one of the greatest wonder weapons weapons of all time. This will easily get you to round 50, 60, depending on how long you want to go for. Death by falling is very, very easy. I recorded 2 gameplay footages, and within those 2 games that I played, I got killed or went down to fall damage 5 times. In 2 games, I went down 5 times from fall damage. That is insane. Falling off the building is very common. I do it all the time, and I'm not even doing it on purpose. It just happens. Sometimes you miss a ledge. It sucks, and I think that's a big problem, especially with the slick fire. You could slide off the map very, very easily, and that's a big problem with Die Rise. Other than that, I don't have a problem with Die Rise. I think it's actually a very fun map. There's a lot of places to train. I personally like training at the very top of the map, or I train in the Buddha room or the upside down room. I think that's a great place to train, but other than that, Die Rise is just a very good, it's a good map. I wouldn't say it's very good, but I think it's good. Number 15 is Classified, a very, very, very good survival map. If you just want to chill, have fun, and listen to music, this is the map to go for. You can easily make it to around 40, 50 very easily on this map. Yes, it is a 5 remake. Yes, they did take away the Neighborhood Predator, and I think that that was a very bad mistake. I think they should have re-added in the Neighborhood Predator. I felt like it would have added more of a challenge, but they didn't do it. And they fixed a lot of problems with 5. First of all, you now know where you're going to teleport to, and that's a very good thing. Before in 5, you never knew where you were teleporting to. Now, it tells you where you're going to teleport to. This also isn't a full-on remake of 5. There's different areas that you can go to. When you pack a punch, you now go to Area 51. I don't think it was necessary for them to make you go to Area 51, but I think it adds a good touch. It makes it feel different. They brought back the Winter's Howl, and they made it a lot better. Yes, it's not the greatest wonder weapon of all time still, but it does a lot more damage on higher rounds than it did. On Black Ops 1, you would make it to like round 30 with the Winter's Howl. On Black Ops 4, you can make it to like round 35. They buffed it a little bit. And this is the first map where they don't constantly throw 100 mini bosses at you like they do on every single Black Ops 4 map. I know that's a Black Ops 4 problem, but Classified is like the only map where they don't do that, and I absolutely love that. Classified is a very fun map, very chill map. If you just want to play to have fun or get to high rounds, this is easily that map to do it. Number 14, Town. This was like the first like 3 months of Black Ops 2. This is what I played for like 3 months, and it's amazing. Very small map. It's a survival map, but this time you have Pack-a-Punch and perks, and I felt like this map was easily one of the greatest maps in Black Ops 2. It was so much fun. I did so many challenges on this. 2-box challenge, Pack-a-Punching every single gun in the map. I did all of that on this. It was just so much fun to do. High rounds was just very fun. Another chill map where you could easily put in some music and just play or just talk to somebody or whatever it is. It's just a mindless survival map, and I love that. Number 13, controversial. Very controversial. But coming in at number 13 is Origins. Okay, so I'm gonna be honest with you. Playing Origins was the very first ever video I made on YouTube. So it holds a place in my heart. This was the very first video I ever made for YouTube. But that being said, I don't think Origins is as good as everybody puts it out to be. First of all, there's a lot of problems with Origins. The biggest problem is the mud. I hate being slowed down. Obviously, I think being slowed down in general in any video game is the absolute worst. I know there are some maps that have parts where you can slow down, but most of Origins is completely filled with mud. In fact, a lot of it is. There are times where you're just running and you accidentally hit mud and your character just decides to stop running. Not to mention, I think this map completely relies too much on the stabs. And you have a lot of Origins fanboys that say this doesn't rely on the stabs, but name one game where you weren't doing a challenge that you did not go for a staff. Name one game. You can't, because every single time you play Zombies Origins, you go for a staff. That's the point of this map. It was for staff. And I think the staves are very cool. They're very overpowered, but at the same time, I think that they rely too heavily on the staffs. They added in a lot of guns. KSG, Ballista. They added in the Boom Hilda. The Boom Hilda, fucking amazing. I absolutely love it. That's like the one gun I always Pack-a-Punch every single time. And then you have the robots, which are very unique, but sometimes they can mess you up. If you're doing a train and a robot comes, it can kill the train. It could kill the last zombie, which starts over the next round. Then you have the Panzers, which are just completely overpowered. But they add a challenge to Origins, so I do love the Panzers. Origins is a great map, but again, it's just not the best. Number 12 is Ascension. Very, very easy map. You could train pretty much anywhere on this map. You could train in the starting room, you could train in the helipad, and it's a very easy survival map. Getting to Pack-a-Punch is very easy. Take all 3 lunar landers, launch the rocket, and Pack-a-Punch is open immediately. The Thunder Gun made its way back in here, and it's a very fun gun to use. This was the first map PhD was brought into, one of the greatest perks of all all time. I absolutely love it. But I think one of the things that hold this map back is that it's very, very easy. There's not even that many strats that just make this map easy. It's just a very easy map in general. Everywhere you can run, you can constantly run anywhere. And another thing I hate about this map is the monkeys. The monkeys absolutely add nothing to this. If you're playing solo, you can't have more than like 2 perks because the monkeys will just take them away from you. And I think that's a very bad design to any game. If I can't have my perks, then what's the point of having them? If you kill the monkeys without them getting to a perk, you can get a free perk yourself. But the problem is the next time the monkeys come back, they're gonna take that free perk that you just got. Coming in at number 11 is Moon. I have a love-hate relationship with this map. I love Moon, but I hate how there's a lot of stuff that absolutely ruins Moon. First of all, spawning in at Area 51, I love that. I thought that was a great idea. You spawn in at Area 51, Pack-a-Punch is right there, Jug is right there. I love how you could get set up with Mustang and Sally's and Juggernog before round 1 even starts, but I hate how they did the Juggernog system. I mean, if you think about it, if Jug's the first perk, once you go back to Area 51, Speed Cola will be the next perk instead, so that means you have to go right back to the Moon and then go back to Area 51 and you have to wait around. They added in the Hacker, and I think the Hacker was a great addition. You could open up doors for, I think they were free or they were like half off. You could get perks for half off. You could actually trade a perk back in. If you bought a perk and you didn't want that perk anymore, if you got the Hacker, you could trade the perk back in. But I hated how you couldn't carry a Hacker and a PES at the same time. How the hell can I not do that? The Hacker is like this big and the PES, I can't hold it while the PES at the same time. I know the Moon has no gravity and I hate the low gravity. I don't like flying off a staircase and then my guy going 80 feet in the air into a horde of zombies. That's just something I don't like. I don't like the Cosmonaut either. I think he doesn't add anything to Moon whatsoever. If he catches you, he takes your last perk that you bought. And in most cases, if you bought Jug first and he catches you, then Jug's gone. That means you gotta go all the way back to Area 51 and then come back. It's just something that I don't like. I also hate how you can blow the windows out of spawn, or you can blow the windows out of certain areas, and then those can have no gravity too. And they added in a lot of good stuff, and I think Moon is very fun. Don't get me wrong, it's a map that I do go back to occasionally, and it's ranked really high. I know I talked a lot of shit on Moon, but it's very, very good. I mean, again, I know I said I wouldn't talk about Easter eggs, but blowing up the Earth, that was one of the coolest things I've ever experienced in any map playing zombies. It was so amazing. I've had so many great memories. I remember hours upon hours going for the Easter egg. That was so much fun playing with your friends. Moon has a great time, but I think there's a lot of stuff that holds Moon back from being one of the greatest maps of all time. Number 10 is Call of the Dead. Everybody loves this map, and I think this map is actually very good, but there's a lot of problems with it. First of all, there's a lot of stuff that I love about Call of the Dead, but there's a lot of stuff that I hate. I love the Scavenger. I think the Scavenger is one of the greatest wonder weapons of all time, but I hate how it drops off after like round 40. It becomes pretty much useless. It should be a very, very, very good wonder weapon, but it's just not. I love George Romero, but I think that after a certain time, he just gets very annoying, and I hate how when you kill him, he comes back within a round or two, and it just makes no sense. Why did I kill him? I don't understand why the point of killing him if he just comes back so fast. If he would have just stayed gone for about 5 rounds, it would have been a lot better. Yes, he rewards you very, very great. He gives you a Wonder Waff and a free perk. That's awesome. I completely love that. But other than that, he comes right back, and it just makes no sense, especially too when you're training and he's in your way. If you hit him once, he just completely fucks your train up, and it sucks so much. I loved the characters. Danny Trejo, Sarah Michelle Gellar, Michael Rooker, and Dave England. Great cast. I think that was an amazing cast. And also, obviously, the addition of George Romero, I felt like was a great addition, but again, he got annoying after a while. Then the VR11 was absolutely useless. You got it, and you just wanted to trade it. There was no point in keeping the VR11. And getting Jug was, in my opinion, the worst thing. I camped on the opposite side of the map, and it was in the worst spot possible to get. You got trapped so many times there. Again, Call of the Dead, I have a love-hate relationship with it. I love the map, but I think that there's a lot wrong with it, and it could have been a lot better, but in my opinion, it's still a very good map, and I love playing it. Number 9, very controversial. A lot of people are going to get mad at this, but it's Der Eisendrache. Again, just like Origins, this map revolves too much around the bows, and yes, you need bows to play this map. Yes, I know a lot of people are be like, yo, you don't need the bows, you don't need the bows, but name one map where you went without going for the bows. You can't. Unless you're doing a challenge video, everybody goes for the bows, and again, that's not a bad thing. The bows are amazing. That lightning bow, so much fun. fun to use, but again, I just don't understand how this map is so loved. It is very fun, don't get me wrong, but the rocket facility is a great place to run. Also, the place with the Tesla trap is another place to run, but again, you don't really care about running anywhere because you got the bows. It's literally a save me weapon. Like at all points, if you have your bow out, you're gonna constantly live, and there's no doubt about it. You could trap yourself in a corner and live. Yes, it is a very fun map, and I think that it's honestly one of the best maps in Black Ops 3, but this is one of the maps that I actually do have fun doing the setup for. I love going for the bows. I love getting perks. But once I'm done with it, I feel like I've done everything. I mean, I get to round 25 and I'm like, how much more do I just want to spam the lightning bow? I just don't want to do that anymore. Coming in at number 8 is 9. This is the best Black Ops 4 map by far, 100%. First of all, the starting room, the greatest starting room of all time. It is so good, and they balanced it so well. It's a very wide open map, but to make it a lot harder, they added these fire traps that will go off randomly, and I think that's the most perfect way to balance it. The maps itself, having perks be certain areas was amazing. There's the Zeus temple, there's the Ra temple. There's so many amazing maps. This map looks so great. You're in a Coliseum. It's so phenomenal. This map easily could have been in my top 3, but there's a lot that makes it not. First of all, this isn't 9's fault. Black Ops 4 had a very, very bad engine. Very bad engine. I think that's what really holds 9 back so much, is that of the engine that they used. Again, that's a Black Ops 4 problem and not a 9 problem. Another thing I hate is the Chaos storyline. I know I said I wasn't ranking these maps off the Chaos storyline, but it needs to be said. The Chaos storyline absolutely ruins this map. I just don't care about the characters. I don't care about the story. And it's a shame because this map is so amazing. It's so awesome, and I'm not into it because there's not a good story to it. There's not good characters. And the thing I hate about Black Ops 4 in general is that there's so many just boss zombies every round. They throw like 10 of them at you and it's like, god damn, I just want to kill zombies. But other than that, 9 is literally perfect. If it wasn't for those, this could easily be in my top 5. Easily this could have been in my top 3. That's how good 9 is. That starting room is amazing. To get to Pack-a-Punch is very easy and very fun. Everything about this, the challenge podiums, they're very doable, but they reward you so well. Do 3 challenges. You get a Pack-a-Punch pistol from the start. That's amazing. Number 7 is Buried. Easily the best Victus map of all time. I absolutely love this map. I think everything about this map is almost perfect. The fact that you could get set up pretty easily on this map is actually pretty good. I know a lot of people hate that, but I feel like that's a very good thing. I also love Arthur or Leroy, whatever you want to call him. He's a very great addition. That's how you open up most of the map. You give him booze, that motherfucker will run into a barrier and destroy it. You give him candy, he makes sure the mystery box never leaves. If the mystery box does leave, that motherfucker will find the mystery box and put it where you want him to. He will hold a crawler, he'll kill a crawler for you, he'll do anything for you. Vulture's Aid was one of the greatest perks of all time, and I'm so surprised it's never made a return. I thought it easily could have been added into it, and it's just one of those things where I feel like Vulture's Aid was just amazing. The witches, I feel like the witch's house, the mansion, was a great addition. If they caught you, they take away your points, but if you kill them without them catching you, you get a free perk. The chalks, drawing your own weapons, that was an amazing addition to this game, and I feel like it was very good. The Paralyzer, one of the coolest and the most underrated wonder weapons of all time. It is so amazing. I think it's one of the greatest of all time. It's so much fun to use. You can make yourself levitate. You can actually, friend jumps in the air, you can make him levitate. A lot of people hate this map because they think it's so easy. They always use the Juggernog strat as an example to why this map is so easy, but at the same time, they also put Dreisendrach as their favorite map of all time, and that map is so easy. You literally just sit in a corner with the upgraded bow and you can make it to round 50 no problems. Why do people get mad at Buried for one strat that you don't have to do at all, but love Dreisendrach with the thing? I don't understand the zombies community at all. But Buried is an amazing map. It's underappreciated. It easily should be in everybody's top 10, but it's not. That's why my list matters. That's why mine matters. Coming in at number 6, Go Rod Crovey. I love this map. Oh man, I love this map. I remember when this map released, I was like, this map is so stupid. Dragons, just the fucking map itself, it just looks stupid, but when you play it, oh my god, it is so amazing. The atmosphere, just everything about it, it makes you feel like you were there. It's such an amazing map. I love the the lockdown system. The lockdown system was amazing. When you get the Dragon Strike afterwards, it is just such a great map. The Ray Gun Mark III, not that great of a wonder weapon to be honest, but man, it's such a fun wonder weapon to use, and I think that that's the perfect thing for it. The Valkyrie drones, they get annoying, but man, they are 100% unique. There's also challenges that you can do from the beginning and get rewarded very, very well. WAW-BO4 is just a perfect map in my opinion, and it's one of the best. I absolutely love WAW-BO4. Coming in at number 5 is the OGs, the original RIESE. I fucking love this map. It's so much fun. Yes, it's a very basic survival map. All you have is perks and pack-a-punch, but man, just the guns that they have, everything about this map is so much fun. I absolutely love the double barrel shotgun. I love the trench gun. I have so many memories with the catwalk. I have so many memories playing with friends. There was times that I played 4 players with my friends, and just to see how long we could get to, and just the conversations we had was just the most memorable things. I think it's one of the most perfect maps, and the design of it is just amazing. There are so many strategies that you can take and use to get to high rounds, and I absolutely love it. And the weapons, the World at War weapons are so amazing. And the fact that you can pack-a-punch them, this is the first time you could pack-a-punch World at War weapons. That's fucking awesome. I wish there were other maps that you could pack-a-punch World at War weapons in, because that would be so amazing, and this is the one that you can. Pack-a-punching the M1911s in World at War, you get the fucking C3 fucking FU biatches, whatever the fuck they're called. They're amazing. I love it. It's one of my favorite weapons. Yes, it is a very basic map, but I think it's a very fun map. I mean, RIESE has been remade twice before, Black Ops 1 and the Giant, and I think that that's why it is such a classic map. It is just an amazing map. And RIESE comes in at number 5. Coming in at number 4 is Shadows of Evil. Man, I hated this map when it first came out. I saw the Margwa, I saw the tentacle things, I saw what they did with the monkey bombs, they replaced it with the fucking little Arnie's, whatever it's called. Dude, everything about this map just did not feel like zombies. But I kept playing it, and I kept playing it, and I kept playing it. And it wasn't until recently that I started to absolutely love this map. Shadows of Evil was the most perfect Black Ops 3 map ever created. First of all, the characters are just amazing, man. They are just so good. I know sometimes people don't like the characters, but I think that they're perfect. I think they nailed the characters, and something else that they nailed was the atmosphere. The look of this map, it's amazing. It looks so good just looking at it. It is just very bright, colorful. The rain adds so much to it. Doing all of the rituals, going to the very bottom. Adding beast mode to the map was awesome. I absolutely loved it. This was the first map that they added in double pack-a-punch, and I thought it was very good. The Margwas, the meatballs, the parasites, they added in a lot of challenge. I mean, the Margwa would spawn in and he fucking wrecked your shit the first time he shut up. But then after that, you knew how to deal with them. Same thing with the meatballs. They sucked, but at the end of the day, you knew how to deal with them. I think they perfectly nailed the balance with it. Even though they do throw a lot of mini bosses at you, it's so perfectly balanced. The meatballs, they do take a lot of damage from you, but they're very easy to kill. The parasites, very easy to kill. Not to mention the Margwas, yes, they suck, but they're very easy to kill. I loved everything about Shadows of Evil. I thought it was very, very fun. Coming in at number 3 is KINO der Toten. A lot of people think this is the most overrated map of all time. And I will agree with you on that. It is the most overrated map of all time. But man, it is so much fun. It's mindless zombies, and this is exactly what got me into zombies, was just that it's mindless fun. You play with your couple of friends, and you have so much fun. It's just the greatest thing. And not to mention, the survival aspect of this map is just very fun. Sometimes I just want to chill and play zombies. I don't want to do all of this random shit just for 45 minutes, then to be able to play zombies. I want to, as soon as I spawn in round 1, that's it. You go straight into it. And KINO der Toten is the most perfect thing. The idea of this map, you're in a theater, it just seems so dumb, but it's just so perfect and so amazing. And this wasn't the first map I ever played, and this is a lot of people's first map that they played, and it wasn't mine, but I remember playing this on my own, and it was just so fun. It just made everything about this map easy. I did so many challenges, 2-box challenge, pack-a-punching every gun on this map, and the thunder gun. This added in the thunder gun. That was so much fun. You got the thunder gun, you were just invincible. You felt like a god. And I think that's what made KINO so good. Yes, it is an overrated map, and I will agree with you on that. A lot of people do overrate this map, especially casuals, but for good reasons. It's a fun map. I think it's a very great map. Coming in at number 2 is Mob of the Dead. This is a great map. Fucking perfect. Perfect. is literally perfect. The Afterlife mode was such an amazing idea, opening up everything from the Afterlife mode, from doors to power to perks. All of that was amazing. The characters that you had, Sal, Billy, the Weasel, Finn, amazing characters, and it went so perfectly with the setting. You're on Alcatraz Island. Building the plane, yes, got tedious after a while, but the first time you built it, man, you felt so rewarded. Then you go to the Golden Gate Bridge, and that place right there, man, the greatest place to train of all time is the Golden Gate Bridge. It is so amazing. That is where Pack-a-Punch is. Then if you feed all 3 dogs, you get the Hell's Retriever, which you then could be upgraded into the Hell's Redeemer. And my second favorite wonder weapon of all time, the Blundergat, which can be upgraded into the Vitrolic Withering, is an awesome weapon. You have a monkey bomb gun at your disposal right there. There's the Warden or Brutus, whatever you want to call him. He adds so much to this map. He spawns in, he can lock down the map, and that adds a challenge, and he's also very strong, but at the end of the day, he's killable. He's there for a reason, but he's killable. Mob of the Dead is one of the greatest maps of all time. It's the most perfect map of all time, and it comes in at number 2 because coming in at number 1, an unpopular opinion, but it's my favorite map of all time, is Shangri-La. Oh my god. I love this map. This map is what really got me into zombies. The first time I ever played zombies was in Nocturne Toten at my friend's house. He lived next door to me. We played it and it was just fun. And I never really got into zombies, but I remember when I first got my own console. It was my birthday, June 21st, 2011. My mom got me Black Ops 1, and like a week later, she got me the DLC, which just so happened to be Shangri-La. And this is the map that really got me into zombies. Zombies is one of my favorite game modes of all time, and Shangri-La is the main reason for it. Yes, it is a very hard map. Yes, there is so little that this game gives you. It's so hard, but at the end of the day, man, it is so much fun. The baby gun, the best wonder weapon of all time. It does absolutely no damage, but it's just the greatest weapon of all time. Everything about this is high risk, but at the end of the day, high reward. The monkeys are very annoying. You can always get a free, easy max ammo if you just use the monkeys right. It's so easy. If you have monkey bombs or the baby gun, you can easily get a max ammo. If you turn a max ammo, you could get a free perks from the monkeys. The map itself is actually very small, but other than that, it's actually a very amazing map. Everything about this, the look of it, it is so bright, so colorful, and that's the first time we ever seen that in zombies. It's always been gray, black, dark colors, but in Shangri-La, it was perfect, especially on the Black Ops 3 version. It looks amazing, but I'm talking about the Black Ops 1 version because the Black Ops 1 version is the best. Yes, there's a lot of annoying stuff in this map, like the spike traps at the very beginning. Yes, those are annoying, but I feel like they help you a lot, especially on higher rounds. You run through them, it stops the zombies, you could kill them. Yes, the quicksand is very annoying, and I will admit, I hate being slowed down like I said, but I feel like it adds that challenge to it. Not every single zombies map should be easy. I think there should be some challenging zombies maps. That's why we have maps like Shangri-La. That's how we have maps like VERRUCKT, because they're challenges. You gotta have some maps that add a challenge to it, and Shangri-La is the perfect map that adds that challenge to it. I feel more accomplished making it to round 20 on Shangri-La than I do making it to round 50 under Eisendrache, because everything about Shang is just, in my opinion, perfect. I love Shangri-La. It is the best map in my opinion. It comes in as the greatest map of all time ever created. I love Shangri-La. That's it. Those are my maps ranked from worst to best. Do you agree with it? Probably not. A lot of the maps that everybody put as their number 1 made it pretty low on my list. I mean, Origins made it around at number 13. Everybody puts Origins in their top 5. Mine made it to number 13. Der Eisendrache made it to number 9. Everybody puts Der Eisendrache in their top 3. I'm a different type of zombies player. I like playing it differently, and I think that's one of the things that I love about the zombies and zombies community is that we can have an opinion. So I want to see what your guys' opinion are in the comment section. What are your favorite maps? What are your top 5? What are your full list? I want to see everything. We can have a discussion. I know a lot of people are going to probably rank Shangri-La pretty low on their list, but I love Shangri-La. I think it's one of the greatest maps of all times. It's amazing. It's awesome. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. If you guys enjoyed the video, give the video a like, subscribe for more, and I will see you guys later.